Omar Kelly with a confession next.
The Big O Radio Show is home for the hardcore Dolphins fan. That's why we give you Omar Kelly twice a week. Buckle up. It's time for the Ejdconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show.
All right, we are back. It is the Ejdconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report. There he is, Omar Kelly. Yeah, baby, he's ready. He's ready to admit it. He's ready to come clean. Come on, Omar, come clean. I saw that tweet you put out. Jakeem Grant is too valuable to let go. Wow.
Not once.
I swear I'm going to make it an NFT. And we're going to make a lot of money off that NFT.
Listen,
and he has no idea, by the way, what an NFT is.
No, yes. No, I do know what an NFT is. I just don't.
Oh, you do?
I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I do know what it is. Not once, ever have I been on the Jakeem Grant is going to be cut train. I know Dolphin fans are obsessed about Jakeem being cut or whether or not he deserves to be here. I've always said he's a franchise's career leader in punt and kickoff, special teams, return touchdowns. That has value. Somebody's going to trade for him. Still open and curious, and the option and opportunity is still there.
It's not happening, right?
I don't think it's going to happen.
Unless somebody says, here's a first or second rounder.
Oh, my God. Anyway.
Right. That's not going to happen.
More Jakeem Grant slander.
And the other thing that I told you before, to let him go for a fifth rounder or sixth rounder, that's a crime.
I do that.
It's more productive to have the player change the field for you and help you out all year long on the way to the playoffs than a fifth or sixth rounder, my man. I mean, they all don't turn in to Zach Thomas and Andrew Van Ginkel. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
it just, oh man, I've never been with the whole trade thing, because if it's a later pick, I think he's way too valuable for that. But I love how you put, yes, he's too valuable a player to cut.
No, I was never going to cut him. When they put Bowden on IR prematurely, in my opinion, and I understand he's got a serious hamstring injury, probably was going to be done for the year.
Stash.
Yeah, it is a redshirt year, and I get it. It makes sense for them because he had been having a struggle camp. You could tell that understanding or grasping the playbook was not his strong suit, even though he was a former quarterback. Yada, 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 whatever it is. But just because of the nature of how injury-riddled or filled with fragility this receiving core is, and that includes Jakeem Grant, because he's never finished an NFL season healthy. I think that it's important that you do keep him around, just because him, Waddle, Wilson, they all give you that gadget type player role. Now, and I'm assuming they're going to keep Malcolm Perry on the practice squad. I don't see any reason why they have to keep him on the 53, but then you never know. These teams have these high opinions. I
think you're right. I think Malcolm goes to the practice. He hasn't done anything, and luckily for them, he hasn't done anything to showcase to steal him off the roster either.
Yeah, no.
I was just talking about Jared Dokes now. Like, he hasn't done anything.
Yeah, no, he's done
I wouldn't be surprised that if they do like him, he barely even plays on Sunday, just so they can stash him on the practice squad, because they'd be afraid that they'd be afraid on Sunday night that all of a sudden he breaks out for 80 yards on 10 carries, scores a touchdown, and then some team around the NFL's like the Rams is going to go, hey, we got some running back issues.
We liked him. Yeah, we liked him in the draft process.
Right.
Let's go all in. I agree. I don't disagree with you. I really only project him to keep 4 tailbacks, and Patrick Laird is still ahead of Dokes. But then again, this history of Chris Greer is he likes to keep his 7th and 6th round picks. The Strowbridges of the world stick around far too long than what they value, what they've added in terms of contributions to the team. But to piggyback on what you're saying, in the Sun Sentinel, I actually have my 10 players, which is something I annually do. 10 players that basically are on the roster bubble, guys where it's it's not really a tough decision, but this final game they really have something to prove, or you'd rather the money that, like Clayton Fejedelem or whatever you say his name, $2.5 million for the fifth safety. I don't know about all that.
Now, let me add something, a caveat to what you were talking about. They had the luxury the first 2 years of hanging on to those 6th and 7th rounders and street free agents that they find and they're trying to develop, because the second half of that roster was always open. Now in year 3, I think some of the guys that you mentioned are gonna, like a Stowbridge and those kind of guys, they're gonna fall by the wayside now, because there is no room anymore to take those kind of gambles on developmental players.
There's
move on to the practice squad, if anything.
There's less room, and I think that there's less room because they're deeper at certain positions, like wide receiver and tight end. But I still don't view this as a very talented roster. I still have my number is 44 guys who, if waived, they find work tomorrow. That's always the bar that I've used as a standard for NFL teams and their 53-man roster. If waived, these guys will find work tomorrow. I think the only guy that I'm worried about cutting is Kurt Merritt, because, not to say that he belongs on the 53-man roster, but somebody will see that or hear stuff that's going on and say, you know what? We could use a developmental wide receiver. Let's kick the tires for a couple of weeks, maybe try to stash him on our practice squad after he's here, for a couple of days, because we don't have
the opposite of Jared Dokes, dude. He actually has shown something throughout the preseason and in camp, and all of you guys are riding it on top of all of that. So all the NFL teams are going to either read it or see it. Right. That's why I'm saying Dokes, don't be surprised if he really
you make a valid point. Dokes and Merritt, I'm not sure that you're right. Teams have done that in past, where guys that they're trying to stash or safely make it to their practice squad, you're not playing in that final exhibition game. No offense to you, but this is a business, and it's part of those business moves and business decisions. But some of the tougher calls to me, Larnell Coleman, he hasn't really had a great camp. He's practice squad worthy. Adam Pankey, who's been on the roster for a while, he's injured right now, so that complicates it from a injury settlement standpoint. Matt Scora, I'm not sure I'm like all in there.
You've been on that, by the way, from the get-go, that you haven't bought the Scora thing and that they might be searching for a center somewhere. And I think you might be right about that.
If I were the Dolphins, and I don't get why they stopped doing it last year. I'm still claiming dudes. I'm still trying to find a Zach Sealer, a Jesse Davis, a Mac Hollins.
They might be working on a trade, Omar, that cannot happen until.
I think the trade that happened, the Greg Little trade needed to happen. It was I could not, we could not move any further with this depth as it was. And I'm glad that Chris Greer agreed with me and made something happen. And in fact, I actually like Little. I've watched him closely because I love trying to trench play. I love line.
Of course.
I've watched him a little, and I like his movement skills. I like
talented dude. That's why this guy was a high second-round pick. This guy's talented, man.
Yeah, I think he was a little bit overinflated because he made a name for himself as the lineman for Arizona's quarterback. Who's Arizona's quarterback again?
Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray in high school and sort of elevated himself from that standpoint. But what I'm saying is, while I respect and I can't say I appreciate, but I respect Solomon Kinley's resurrection. He's now seems to be locked up in that starting left guard spot. I would make the argument to you, and this is something that Brian Forrest firmly believes in. if we're going to talk about starting our top 5, and that's what Flores firmly believes in, he believes in starting his top 5 guys and figuring out where they play. I would make the argument to you right now, especially with Liam Eichenberg injured, which he got injured yesterday. Don't know how serious it is. That even though it's been a short little period of time, I'm excited to see him play against the Bengals. I would make the argument that Greg Little might be 6, if not 5, and I would try him at left guard. Just a thought.
No, yeah, I understand what you're saying, but I think you also have to keep working him at swing tackle, my brother, because if Eichenberg cannot be counted on right now and he is injured,
Fair.
and you just talked about Coleman that he hasn't impressed you, so he's probably practice squad material.
Yeah.
So then you've got to get Greg Little ready to swing.
You're correct. You're correct because
your boy has got a flat tire that he can't fix probably till the end of the season. That's what it seems like. That's
why didn't they fix that shit after OTAs?
Maybe it's a little bit more serious that it would have taken longer to recover, and they were like,
"No, if it's more serious, then you do it then. You do it then. You give him 3 months."
We don't have the info, man. We don't have the info. We don't know, but there's something going on.
Without a doubt, there's something going on.
So that's why I think Little has to stay playing at swing just in case. You know what I'm saying?
If there is something going on, why are you adamant about a guy playing with something going on as opposed to getting it addressed and having him healthy at some point during the season?
Okay, Omar, you're assuming that was on the Dolphins. Ryan Tannehill chose not to have surgery on his knee because he thought hocus pocus, it'll all come together, and then he blew out his knee again, and it's like, hey,
stem cells, baby. Stem cells.
You got to surgically repair that, and then he actually went to surgically repair. So remember, when it comes to medical issues, we really don't know whose call it is. It might be Jesse going. It might be Jesse going, I don't want to lose half a season, 3/4 of the season rehabbing and
he'll lose his spot. Jesse's scared he'll be forgotten and won't be allowed to compete because and here's the thing. I'm a card carrying member of the Jesse Davis fan club.
I know.
I just wrote in my piece. Jesse Davis is the best claim that this franchise has had in 20 years. Best find waiver wire. 20 years.
Yeah. Well, it depends on where Nick Needham is going.
Nick Needham isn't a waiver wire claim. Nick Needham is a rookie, undrafted rookie, developmental guy. So
didn't they steal him off of some? Didn't they steal him off?
No, Nick Needham is theirs. Nick Needham was their signee.
Okay.
So now Ahmed Salvan. That's a waiver wire option, and he's very good. People don't realize how good he is as a pass catcher. Like he's Reggie Bush as a pass catcher.
Oh yeah, he's dynamic.
Yeah,
he's a big guy.
There have been too many instances where I've watched practice and they're on the far field, so I don't have my binocular. I'm not looking with my binoculars, and you see a guy moving super fast, and I think it's Lynn Bowden Jr. And it just so happened not Lynn Bowden Jr. Jalen Waddle, and you think it's Jalen Waddle, and it happens to be Ahmed, and I'm like, damn, that guy can move. He's roasted so many linebackers in his camp, it's ridiculous.
All right, Eichenberg. What do we know? What did you? Is it some kind of a leg injury? Is what I read.
We gotta go out and see practice today. Obviously, we don't talk to Flores before the game. Even if we did talk to Flores, he'd lie. They threaten agents not to disclose injuries. So it's like it's mystery. And I'm sure Liam confessed he had a right shoulder injury coming out of the Bears, and I'm sure he was punished, if not fined, for that. So it's
by the way, Parcells, Jimmy, and Pat Riley all did the same thing. They all called agents and said, "Hey, you give this information away down the line when we got to deal with something. I'm gonna turn my back on you. I'm not gonna care about your play. I'm gonna make things impossible for you." And that would, it depends on who you are. But, agents will like, okay, no problem. I won't say anything. That intimidation tactic has been used by several other coaches.
Most agents also do not tell media injuries. It is what it is.
It's personal, dude. It's personal. They could get in trouble too. You know what I mean? There are HIPAA laws. So you got to be careful with that. That's why
somebody with the medical community actually explained to me HIPAA has nothing to do with sports, and literally how it's being used in sports is an excuse because it doesn't even apply. It doesn't even apply to disclosing injuries.
But it's not HIPAA, it's the human being that can then use the technicality against you for releasing medical information, which is private. That's the real deal. It's the person that is going through the trauma that can actually go after you, not necessarily the rule itself or HIPAA or anybody else. It's really up to the patient. And that's why I mentioned the Jesse Davis thing. We don't know, dude. There's so much on the line for Jesse. It might be him saying, no, I can tough it out. I can play through it. We'll be fine. I'll take care of it in the off season.
Yeah.
And it's a lot what you just said. You know, he's a blue collar guy, lunch pail guy. He has earned every single damn thing he has ever gotten. And he knows that if he's not there, he could easily lose it because he's seen better than him lose it. So he's like, you know what? No, I'm going to fight through this thing. And he's a tough guy. He's a tough guy also. So there you go.
We're at the point now where he's only doing half a practice, and I'm fine with it because Jesse's never been a problem. And this is the argument that I make to Dolphin fans who think Jesse's such a liability. There's a lot of liabilities on your offensive line over the years. Jesse Davis has never been one. And I take that from a guy who is obsessed with line play. There ain't a game, no matter what position you've asked him to play, where Jesse Davis has been a liability on your offensive line.
I agree.
He has not done his job. And it's like, I feel like it's such a struggle for me to get Dolphin fans to understand that, hey, this guy who you consistently disrespect is not only the leader of your unit, but he's the best player in your unit. Like, put some respect on his name.
Yeah. Yeah, no, there's no doubt. It's just since he's not considered elite
or young
or solid, since he's considered solid, then you're always looking for the next best thing.
Bro, name me the next solid guy on your line.
Yeah,
but you excuse that with, they're young. Like, I don't get that. Like, Austin Jackson, like, I'm going to do my camp superlatives. Like, the most disappointing player this camp has been Austin Jackson.
Wouldn't it be Noah? Because he really like monogamy. Because he really took no steps forward.
No, zero. I can't say that because the expectation level wasn't that. Now Noah is still the third, fourth. The disappointment that you have is that he can't beat out Nick Needham. But I've been telling you from day one, Nick Needham ain't no slouch, man.
Well, I don't have a problem not beating out Nick Needham because Nick Needham is a good player. He's turned into a good player. I have no problem with that. But he is a guy that you're hoping that he can turn the corner because in a passing league,
yes,
you want
you're right.
Many of those dudes, man.
But do you need Nick Needham? You need Austin Jackson. Austin Jackson is supposed to be your best lineman.
Yeah.
And right now, he's arguably one of your worst. Now.
But Omar, one of the things that I know people are going to hate, some people hate that I've brought it up the last week or two, and I don't think people like you are writing enough about it. I don't think talking heads or in radio or TV are talking enough about it. Let's be realistic, dude. They're not going to hit on all 5 of these draft picks on the offensive line. 2 or 3 are only going to succeed. So we're going to have failures. And it might be Austin, and it might be Hunt, and it might be Dieter, and it might be, Eichenberg. It is what it is. You know what I mean? They're not going to hit on all 5. I love how we assume that all 5 of these draft picks are going to make the transition and become your starting line for the next 10 years. That's how Dolphins sound. That's how writers sound. That's how people on TV sound.
I sound. I don't like this line.
Okay, definitely. We got to take a step back and be realistic. 2 or 3 of these guys are going to fail. It's just the way it is. And if I put you on the spot, which I know you don't mind being on the spot, who's the 2 or 3 out of the 5 that you would put your money on that say they're going to make it, and who's the 2 or 3 that aren't going to make it, because that's the reality. They've drafted a bunch and they'll keep drafting to then fill out the rest of those spots, but they're not going to hit on all 5, because if they do, then you give Chris Greer a 15-year contract and make sure he never leaves again, because no general manager in the NFL would hit on all 5 picks. It's impossible.
I don't know. Austin Jackson was probably the most talented of the group, and he had a very good start to his season, his rookie season, before the knee injury. I'm assuming, and this is just an assumption, that he's not fully healthy and there's something going on, because Andrew Van Ginkel, as promising as he is, shouldn't be beating your ass the way that he is. Unless
he's good.
No, Andrew Van Ginkel's not good.
He's good.
Andrew Van Ginkel has exceeded expectation. I don't know. Andrew Van Ginkel, he's making Andrew Van Ginkel look like the Matthews brother.
I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. This is a guy that's around the football all the time. This is a guy that's touchdowns.
He is.
How can you say
I need Andrew Van Ginkel to do it again before I sit here and crown him.
Well, he was good in his rookie year. He wasn't
good in his rookie year. No, he was not.
He was good in his rookie for a 5th round pick. He did good, man.
I'm not putting for a 5th round pick. Let's not put that bar there. Let's not put the low bar there that he's got to skip over. No, Andrew Van Ginkel. Was Andrew Van Ginkel supposed to start last year? No. That's
because they brought Kyle Van Noy in.
No,
they weren't sure he was ready. But then after last year, you looked at Van Noy and Van Ginkel, and you were like, no, I'm going Ginkel, not Noy. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair. But the point is, and I'm not disrespecting Andrew Van Ginkel because
you are. Yes, you are.
Listen, all I'm saying is Austin Jackson is making him look like a Matthews brother. Like, you remember Clay Matthews?
Yes. Hopefully Van Ginkel is Matthews without the roids. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Allegedly.
Yes, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Sure.
No, that's not. It wasn't the Matthews brother. That was the one from Houston.
No.
Okay, let's
did not
let it go.
Here.
I
did not stutter here. Okay, I said Clay Matthews. All right. I know what I see, and there was a chemically enhanced dude on the field in my eyes. I'm just saying, but go ahead.
I do not speak of such things. And
hell of a player. Hey, he did whatever he had to do. God bless you, bro. I mean, he did get busted for PEDs later on in his career.
Did he?
Yeah, he did. He did get busted for it finally. They finally caught up to whatever system he was
using.
Man,
if you're not cheating in the NFL, you're not trying, in my opinion. If you're not using HGH in the NFL, something's wrong with you.
Hell of a player, bro. Hell of a player. I mean, whatever fuels you, go for it. Just don't let them bust.
The stem cells, the blood doping, you better be using whatever you need to be using to get the edge that you need to get, so that you Ryan Tannehill was a pioneer in
magic surgery.
Huh?
Magic surgery?
No.
Blood,
stem cell, blood swapping, blah 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 blah.
Well, I thought he took his knee to Vegas and said, "David Copperfield, please."
No, he took it to Bahamas.
Ligament together.
He took it to Bahamas, actually.
Oh, I didn't know Copperfield lived in the Bahamas. I had no idea.
But they do all of that stuff now, man. You know, when I got turned on to HGH, not that I can afford it because I can't. I wish I could, because it would make a lot of things go away that have been giving me issues and problems.
We'll create another sponsor for you, and driven by HGH. All right, we'll do that.
Yeah, if you want to find
I'm working on it right now. Okay,
I am all on it. This shoulder is like a bum shoulder. I had to call Dr. Uribe because I probably need it surgically repaired. If I have some HGH now, my problem might go away.
Hell yeah. Definitely.
So my point is, why can't athletes use it?
Hey, listen, man. I don't know. That's their rules. That's their laws. I mean, they suspended a runner for getting, high.
Yeah.
I mean, give me a break. Not that I'm a Sha'Carri Richardson supporter anymore after what she pulled the last week. That I got off her bandwagon with a quickness. You saw what she did to the Jamaican girl. I mean, she's saying she looks like a little Wayne and stuff, liking tweets. It's like, use a little class, young lady. Come on, man. Give that Jamaican lady all the credit in the world, man. She's second fastest to flow ever, bro. She was second to flow. Give her love, bro. She deserves it, man. She's a goddess.
Same thing with weed, and I'm glad that that's the one thing.
That doesn't enhance a damn thing. It
enhances your appetite.
The drive-through.
Hey, it enhances your appetite. That's what it does enhance.
That's all it does. That's all it does. If anything, they should be giving you more credit that you overcame the weed. You know what I'm saying? Because you probably went and had the munchies and you have some extra weight on you and you still won the race.
Absolutely.
Damn, man.
One of the main drawbacks of weed smoking. Yeah, you just eat, need. I can't afford to smoke weed. I got to work on this weight.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that the NFLPA, the one thing that they won and fought for is that players can now smoke weed instead of taking opioids, which is, props to them.
That's why Ricky Williams was way ahead or way high of his time.
The pioneer.
Yeah, exactly, dude. He was smart. I don't want that stupid drugs are gonna tear up my liver. I'll go smoke a fatty and feel better that way. He was smart. By the way, you still didn't answer my question. Who are the 2 or 3 linemen?
Easy answer.
And who are the 2 or 3 linemen that will not make it?
I'm not a Solomon Kinley fan, so let's put that out there. I think he's good right now. Let me clarify this. I think he's good right now because he is what Tua needs. We've always said, Solomon, you're not moving him in pass protection. He's just too big of a man for you to bull him and compromise the pocket. So he's helping Tua from that standpoint, but I don't think he's an NFL starter for 31 other teams. I'm not sure how I feel about Dieter. I need some real live games, and I'm optimistic. The scorer, the fact that he was given the job. Let's not act like he won the job. And I'm okay with this because they're investing in their draft picks. He's a 3rd-round draft pick. He has position flexibility. Spend a year learning how to play center. Give him the opportunity. So those are the 2 that really have a question mark for me. But I believe in Robert Hunt. I like what I've seen from him. He moves people at right guard. I think it's a good spot for him. I wouldn't even worry if he had to move out to right tackle for whatever reason. I like what I see from Robert Hunt. Austin Jackson, man, I can't explain what's going on. I really can't. This is not something that I've seen in my career here, where a guy goes from being solid to being troublesome. I've just never seen that, because he wasn't good last year. He was good in the beginning of the year. Then he was average.
Yeah,
but he's not really average right now. And I'm hopeful and optimistic that the 21 days rest he'll get between the final preseason game, because I wouldn't play him.
He's gonna play.
You think he's gonna play against the Bengals?
I think everybody plays except Jesse Davis. I think that line needs to play. I think they need to see as many things up front, which they don't really see a lot in preseason.
Flores about that, and he seemed kind of undecided. He was like, for sure Jesse's not playing, but he seemed kind of undecided. And to me, it only makes logical sense. I wish I could be in the locker room, because I could clarify these things if I'm in the locker room. In these situations, I cannot. It's got to be injury related with Austin. There's no other explanation other than Andrew Van Ginkel is going to be a Pro Bowl player.
He is. Come on, what's wrong with you? Of course he's going to be a Pro Bowl player. Come on, that's just automatic. What's wrong with you? And Jakeem Grant will be too on special teams.
Now I know where you're coming from. All right. Listen, and I have respect for Andrew Van Ginkel, so don't think it's like me disrespecting.
He's a baller, bro. He's a baller. Stud.
But he's a stud, but he's got no pass rushing moves.
He still gets there.
He does.
Okay. Did you see
I would
Larry
like to
Bird?
see him
Did,
get there.
did you watch Larry Bird shoot the ball? It was ugly as hell, but the bitch went in. That's all that matters. Did you watch Bernie Kosar throw the ball? It was ugly as hell, but it was effective. He's a winner. Don't matter. Get it done. Get it done, Ginkle. That's it, bro. That's who he is. Get it
Yeah.
done, Ginkle.
Hey, I'm gonna use that. Get it done, Ginkle, because that's. Hey, listen, I can't explain it, man. I really can't. It's ugly as hell, but it works.
He's Andrew Van Ginkel is the Larry Bird of football. There you go. That's all you need to know. So not only is he going to the Pro Bowl this year, he's going to be a Hall of Famer too, because he is Larry Bird. There you go.
If he plays like he's played against Austin Jackson, against anybody this season, I believe you. I would. He's a problem for Austin Jackson. And if he's a problem, and that's the thing, we're watching him in an exhibition season and watching him in joint practices, and that's not the case.
Well, rumor has it that the National Oceanic Association, they're going to name a storm Van Ginkel when it gets to the V's. That's how badass Andrew Van Ginkel is. That they've said it already. The Hurricane Association, they're like, we're adding Van Ginkel to
Props to him, man. Props to Andrew, because, hey, I hope you block. Yes, you couldn't be. Yes, I hope you blossom, and I hope you make that.
No. He is blossoming. And I hope he blossoms. He's in the process of blossoming.
He did blossom last year.
Yeah.
If he turns into a stud, man, that's so amazing shit right
He
there.
blossomed so much last year. The guys in the front office were sitting around going, hey, this Van Noy bum, we overpaid for his ass. We got a guy in the 5th round that's smoking circles around this fool. Let's get him out of here. Come on. Flo, what are you doing, bro? Van Ginkel's better than your guy. Let's get him out of here. And that's it. And Greer was messing with him, and they got rid of Van Noy. And they said, that's it. We'll take the cap hit. Van Ginkel will carry us. So
No cap hit. They had a backdoor. The first time I'd ever seen a Dolphins contract with a 1-year backdoor in it. I was like, when I saw it, I was just like, that's interesting. And they certainly pulled the plug.
That's Chris Greer, baby. More often than not, he has made the right move. He's not going to be perfect because there's no such thing, but he's done a marvelous job since he took over from this team. And it gives, I think, what Greer has done has created an environment to give everybody hope on the direction of this football team. By the way, do you have them in the playoffs?
Nah.
Oh, man. God, that's going to be terrible at the end of the year. We're going to have to pick on you at the end of the year when they're in the playoffs. How did you not pick them to be in the playoffs, Omar? See, it's like the whole Jakeem Grant thing. You had him off the roster, and now he's too valuable.
I had him traded. That's what I had him traded. And in fact, I'm still a believer. The fact that he didn't return punts last week. Come on, Big O. Come on.
What's he got to prove? Use somebody else. There's nothing to prove. You saw the week before. He lit it up, and it was like, yeah, I've seen enough. We've been watching this for years. We don't need to see it anymore. In another year or two, they're just going to tell Van Ginkel to hang out on the sidelines and watch the entire preseason because they're going to say, dude, you're close to the Ring of Honor. You're good. You don't need to play.
He's not playing on Sunday.
Oh, no, for sure. How would you play? There's no reason to play him on Sunday. I don't need to see any more of that kid. I want him on prime time. I want him on the big stage. I want him knocking the hell out of Cam Newton in week 1. That's what I want. I don't need to see him against the Bungles.
Andrew Van Ginkel, the Cam Newton fixer.
That's it. The Cam Newton nightmare is going to come his way, Van Ginkel style. That's what's going to end up happening.
If you ever met that dude in person, man, you'd see why it's so funny. He's such a weird bird. He's just like, he's not one of those kids that's scared of his own shadow. He's like, it's weird. It's just
he's a colorful guy. He's a colorful guy.
No, he's very bland. He's just scared. He's just scared.
He's an introvert, is what you're
Yeah,
saying?
he's kind of an introvert.
Okay.
He's just, and I like him. I like him as a player too. It's just very interesting to see his development.
It's been a lot of fun to see his development. I'm looking forward to it. By the way, I guess Brissett will play a whole half, and then Sinet plays the second half. Is that what's going to
Sure, who
happen? Probably.
cares? Like, yeah,
Okay.
I want to see Brissett, and I do want to see Brissett because I think Brissett's been like, you know how fans are like, oh, Tua's this, Tua's that. Brissett has been equally as impressive to me.
Yeah, but
I did not expect.
he's had his chances already. He had a
No, no,
chance.
no, no, no. I'm not saying he's gonna be something good, but
He's a solid
I,
back.
huh?
He's a solid backup, is what he is.
He might be the best backup that they've had here since I've been here, outside of Pennington, of course.
Yeah. Well, Pennington's a starter, not a
Hey,
backup.
man, he was a backup for Chad Henne for two,
Oh
3 years.
God, yeah, the experiment. Yeah, exactly. But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
That whole situation. Um, Pennington is very. I mean, Brissett, he's been very good, and he executes.
Oh yeah, he is. Yes, he's playing well. He's a smart guy, man. He's a solid quarterback.
I'm very pleasantly surprised by what I've seen from him. He's been probably my biggest surprise of camp so far.
Yeah, not a difference maker, but a guy that at least will keep the ship afloat if something happens.
Yeah, this ain't no Brock Osweiler.
Which no. He's a way more professional than Brock Osweiler. He's a pro's pro. I like Brissett in the role he's in right now. I think he's fantastic. He's one of those, like you said, he's one of the better backups in the league, is what he is. There's no doubt. I like him. All right, Omar, what are you working on the Sun Sentinel here down the stretch leading up to the Bengals game? So folks,
10 things to look for in this meaningless preseason exhibition game. I'm glad they're going to play Joe Burrow. I don't know how long they're going to play him, but that'll be fun. Also, I'm going to be looking at. I'm going to be putting together my superlatives, which is something I do at the end of camp. Most improved unit, best unit, most improved player, biggest disappointment, biggest surprise kind of thing. Just highlighting camp, and then obviously we'll be going to cover the cuts this upcoming week. The cuts are
over and under on Jamar Chase drops, because if that was happening here in Miami, you'd be hearing, okay, Jamar Chase is a bust, fire Chris Greer, life is over.
Is he really having drop issues?
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Devonta Smith can't stay on the field, and Jamar Chase is dropping balls left and right. He's making Jakeem Grant look like a short-handed wide receiver. How about that?
Anybody makes Jakeem Grant look like a short-handed wide receiver.
What do you mean? No, I think you're not. I don't think you're phrasing that the right way. Because that means you're making everybody drop balls, and Jakeem Grant catches them all.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Okay. Let me try this the right way. How do I do that? How do I insult Jakeem Grant's catching ability?
Let it go. Just let it go. Just let it go. Just let it go. No, seriously.
Jakeem can't catch.
Seriously, that Jamar is having a bunch of drop issues, dude. Practice, games, it's been a problem for the poor young. He'll get it, and remember, he was off for a year too, so all that kind of stuff might affect him a little bit, but he'll get it going. I'm not worried about him. I'm not worried about Devonta Smith. I don't wish anything bad against those guys. They'll be fine. They're fantastic talents, but it's just funny because if it was happening here, they'd be tearing Jamar Chase down and Chris Greer. I mean, ripping them to shreds.
Usually we make excuses for players early on.
Everybody killed Tua last year, bro. I don't know about
that. No. Everybody in the media killed. Nationally.
I think people were incredibly unfair to Tua last year. Incredibly unfair. I think people did not ever really take into account what that young man had to do just to get on the damn field. And then when you learn about everything else that was going on with the old coordinator and the offense, and that he really didn't know, they didn't give him all the info technically in a way. and he didn't know everything. And so when you throw him out there, and he still had a winning record, and he still threw more touchdowns than interceptions, and he didn't have a great line, he didn't have great weapons. I keep saying Tua was phenomenal last year, considering everything that went on. But again, the narrative around the country was the kid is a failure, the kid is a joke, he's a product of the system, he's a product of number one talent all over the place, all that kind of crap.
He'll be good. He'll be good.
He's going to be great. He's going to be one of the most crafty quarterbacks back there in the pocket. I can already tell you that. Not a lot of guys can do what he does in the NFL. There's very few guys that can move the way he does inside that pocket, and he's just a baby. Wait till he actually gets all the knowledge and knows everybody and all their instincts and everything that they normally do. That kid is going to be off the charts, man. I can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun. Omar, have a great weekend, my brother. Enjoy the exciting game on Sunday. We will talk on Monday, my friend.
All right, talk to you.
You got it. All right, quick break. Back in a minute. Hour number 2 next.
You've been listening to the Ejdconstruction.com Miami Dolphins Report with Omar Kelly. For additions, home remodeling, or custom work, call Eric at 305-433-4843. Ejdconstruction.com is the custom home builder and general contractor you can trust. 305-433-4843.